In America, the average healthy lifespan ends at 66. That means for most people, everything after that is pills, procedures, and losing independence year after year. But in Japan, they have over 95,000 people aged 100 and older who are still active, still sharp, and still walking to the grocery store without help. So, what's their secret? It's not magic. It's not perfect genetics. And no, it's not expensive supplements. Since 1928, Japan has had a nationwide morning movement routine, a simple set of 6 gentle exercises practiced by kids, adults, and seniors alike. No equipment, no gym, just 15 minutes a day. That adds decades of strength, balance, and confidence. Stop. What if 5 minutes every morning could add decades of energy to your life? Sounds wild, but it's real. Picture yourself at 80, walking to the store, playing with your grandkids, not watching from a bench. In a small Japanese town, 6 tiny morning moves keep people active into their 90s, and one rewires your balance in under a minute. No pills, no machines, just simple movement. Trust me, it's practical and gentle. Hey there, I'm Dr. Logan Carter. I'm based in the US, and I've spent 25 years helping people age stronger. Stay with me. The first move will surprise you. In this video, I'll break down those 6 exact movements step by step, show you how to do them properly at any fitness level, and most importantly, how they help you age stronger, not slower. Before we get started, drop your name and where you're watching from in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Meet Ellen Harper, a 68-year-old retired school teacher from Ohio who loved nothing more than tending her garden and chasing her grandkids around the backyard. But a few years ago, she started waking up stiff, her joints creaking like an old wooden floor, barely able to bend down to tie her shoes. She thought it was just getting old, until her doctor warned her that her lack of mobility was stealing her independence. Here's the twist. Ellen wasn't sick. Her body was just screaming for movement it wasn't getting. Determined not to end up in a rocking chair, she stumbled across a simple Japanese morning routine that promised to keep her active. Skeptical but desperate, she tried it. Guess what? Within weeks, she was back to pruning roses without pain. But here's the catch. She almost gave up on day 3 because it felt too easy to work. By sticking with those 5 minutes a day, Ellen's mornings transformed, and so did her life. She's now outpacing her grandkids in the yard, leaving her neighbors stunned. Could a routine this simple really do that for you too? Keep watching to find out how. Number 1. Seiza, proper sitting posture. Let's take it to the floor. But don't worry, this one isn't about flexibility or pain. It's about resetting your posture from the ground up, just like the Japanese have done for centuries. Seiza, which means proper sitting, was once the standard way people sat during meals, tea ceremonies, and meditation. Today, it's a gentle but powerful way to stretch the muscles that cause most posture problems after 50. Here's how to do it. Kneel on a mat or soft surface. Keep your knees together and fold your feet underneath you so the tops of your feet rest on the floor. Then, slowly sit back onto your heels, keeping your back tall and relaxed. Feel tight in the knees or ankles. Totally normal. Just place a firm cushion or a yoga block between your heels and hips. That tiny adjustment makes a big difference. Why does this matter? Because the seated position stretches tight hip flexors and quads, the exact muscles that pull your body into that slouched or hunched over aged posture. It also activates your deep core and spinal stabilizers. Unlike sitting in a chair where those muscles basically shut off, start with just 30 seconds to 1 minute and gradually build to 3 to 5 minutes a day. Do it while watching TV or meditating, and it'll quietly start to reshape how you sit, stand, and walk. And now that your posture is waking up, it's time to tap into something deeper, both physically and mentally. The next movement isn't just for your body, it's for your brain and nervous system. Number 2. Nekowashi Dachi, the cat stance. If Shikodachi gave you a solid foundation, this next move wakes up the part of your body that quietly saves you from injury every single day, your balance system. Nekowashi Dachi, or the cat stance, comes from traditional karate and mimics the way a cat gently tests the ground before pouncing. It's graceful, subtle, and surprisingly powerful for your ankles, hips, and core. Here's how to do it. Start by standing with one foot slightly forward. The ball of your front foot lightly touches the ground like a cat pawing the floor. Your back foot stays fully planted, carrying about 70% of your weight. Both knees are gently bent, and your hips stay square, facing forward. It'll feel weird at first, and that's the point. This position activates deep stabilizer muscles most people haven't used in years. It sharpens your ankle control, strengthens the arch of your foot, and lights up the core to keep you upright. These are the exact muscles that help you avoid slips and falls on uneven surfaces. Start by holding for 20 to 30 seconds on each side next to a wall or chair for safety. Over time, add small weight shifts or slow arm movements to challenge your stability. Bonus: Japanese therapists often prescribe this stance to retrain balance after injury. That's how effective it is. Once you get comfortable here, we'll take things down to the floor and discover how a centuries-old sitting position can realign your posture better than any back brace ever could. Before moving to the floor, let's pause for a little inspiration. In Kyoto, researchers followed a group of seniors in their late 60s who practiced this exact cat stance for just 3 minutes a day. Within 6 weeks, their risk of ankle sprains and balance-related falls dropped by almost 30%, even though they didn't change anything else about their exercise routine. You can actually feel why this works the moment you close your eyes in the stance. With your vision gone, every tiny muscle in your feet and hips wakes up, sending rapid-fire signals to your brain to keep you upright. This neural wiring is what dancers, martial artists, and even astronauts train to protect themselves when the ground feels uncertain. Want to deepen the challenge? Once you can hold the cat stance steadily, try lifting the front foot just an inch off the floor for a slow 3 count, then set it down without a sound. That silent landing trains shock absorption and teaches your body to react like a spring, fast but controlled. Number 3. Shikodachi, the sumo stance. Let's kick things off with a movement that's been used by Japan's most powerful athletes for over 100 years. It's called Shikodachi, or the sumo stance, and it's not just for wrestlers. This posture builds the exact leg strength older adults need for everyday life, getting out of chairs, climbing stairs, keeping balance, and preventing falls. Here's how to do it. Stand with your feet twice shoulder width apart. Turn your toes outward at a 45-degree angle. Now, slowly lower your hips like you're sitting between your legs, not behind them. Keep your spine straight and your chest open. Place your hands on your thighs for support if needed. At first, just hold this for 20 to 30 seconds. If you feel shaky, stand near a wall or hold onto a sturdy chair. As you get stronger, work up to 1 to 2 minutes. You'll feel it in your quads, glutes, and inner thighs, muscles most people over 50 have lost touch with. Why does this matter? Because those are your independence muscles. When they are strong, you move like someone 20 years younger. When they're weak, that's when stairs become scary. Biomechanics studies have shown this stance actually activates more leg muscles than regular squats, but with less joint strain. In the wide-open hip angle, it helps undo decades of stiffness from sitting too much. Master this one move, and you'll build the foundation for all the others. Next up, we're going to test your balance in a completely different way with a posture inspired by a cat getting ready to leap. Before we move to the next posture, let me share a quick story. Kenji, a 72-year-old grandfather from Seattle, started practicing Shikodachi for just 2 minutes a day. At first, he wobbled, his thighs burned, and he thought, maybe I'm too old for this. But within 3 weeks, he noticed something surprising. He could stand up from the couch without using his hands and even climb the hiking trail near his house with his grandkids. Small gains, big freedom. Here's a fun fact you can try yourself. Researchers in Tokyo found that adding just 2 minutes of wide stance squats daily improved hip flexibility by nearly 20% in adults over 60 within a month. That's not just strength, that's independence. If you're following along right now, pause the video for a moment and tell me in the comments how long you were able to hold your stance. Was it 20 seconds? 30? I read every single reply. Number 4. Kibadachi, the horse stance. If Zazen awakened your inner power, Kibadachi is where we channel it outward with a commanding, firmly rooted posture once practiced by samurai fighters and karate legends to prepare for combat. But today, you're not gearing up for battle, you're preparing for self-reliance. Kibadachi translates to horse stance, mirroring the steady position of sitting astride a horse. It's crafted to develop profound leg strength, side-to-side stability, and to reactivate muscles that most people neglect after turning 50. Here's how to perform it. Stand with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width, around an extra foot on each side. Keep both feet parallel, not angled outward. Bend your knees and sink your hips as though lowering into an invisible chair. Maintain an upright spine, engage your core, and let your arms rest naturally at your sides. Hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds and repeat 2 or 3 times. Over time, aim for 1 to 2 minutes per set. Feel that burn? That's your quadriceps, inner thighs, glutes, and deep hip stabilizers all activating together. Why is this important? Because these very muscles guard against side-to-side stumbles, improve the alignment of your hips and knees, and safeguard joint health over the long haul. Research even shows Kibadachi enhances proprioception, your body's innate awareness of space and motion, which naturally diminishes with age. Practice this regularly, and you'll notice greater steadiness when walking on uneven ground, stepping off curbs, or simply rising from bed. Now, to bring everything together, we'll finish with one last movement. It isn't ancient, but it fuses modern science with ancestral wisdom, and it will reveal just how powerful your legs have truly become. Number 5. Zazen, seated meditation. Now that you've started to unlock better posture with CZA, let's go deeper, not just into your hips and spine, but into your nervous system itself. Zazen, which literally means seated meditation, is more than just sitting still. It's a powerful isometric posture that comes from Zen monasteries, where monks would hold it for hours a day, not just for spiritual clarity, but for physical strength and endurance. Here's how to set up. Sit on the floor in a cross-legged position. If you can do full or half lotus, great. If not, a simple crisscross seat is perfect. Now, place a firm cushion under your hips. This slight elevation makes it easier to keep a naturally tall spine. Imagine a string lifting the top of your head toward the ceiling. Your shoulders relax, your chin slightly tucks, and your hands rest gently in your lap. Now breathe. That's it. But don't be fooled. This position activates your deep core, including the transverse abdominis and multifidus muscles, which protect your spine and improve balance. Meanwhile, the hips get a deep stretch, especially if you sit consistently each day. But here's where it gets really interesting. Studies show that Zazen stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your brain that tells the body, you're safe. Now, heal. This helps lower cortisol, calm the mind, and even promote cellular repair. Start with 5 to 10 minutes a day, focusing on slow, natural breathing. Over time, aim for 15 to 20 minutes. You'll feel a shift not just in your spine, but in how you handle stress, sleep, and even pain. And once your core is awake and your nervous system is on your side, it's time to rebuild true strength from the legs up with a stance designed by samurai. Many longtime practitioners describe a moment they call the quiet click, a sudden awareness when the breath and heartbeat feel perfectly synchronized. Modern neuroscientists say this is when the vagus nerve ramps up, sending a wave of relaxation through the entire body. In fact, MRI scans from Kyoto University show that just 10 minutes of daily Zazen can increase activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain tied to focus and emotional balance. If you ever notice gentle tingling in your fingertips or a sense that sounds around you have softened, that's not imagination. It's your nervous system shifting from fight or flight to deep restoration, the exact state where healing and cell repair accelerate. Number 6. Wall squat, the invisible chair. We've built your foundation, fired up your balance, reset your posture, awakened your core, and grounded your strength. Now it's time to test the whole system with a deceptively simple movement that many trainers call the Great Revealer. Enter the wall squat, also known as the invisible chair. It's not traditional Japanese, but it's widely used by modern Japanese physiotherapists and coaches, especially in rehab and senior fitness programs. Why? Because it activates everything you've been working on all at once without requiring any equipment. Here's how to do it. Stand with your back flat against the wall, feet about 12 inches forward and shoulder width apart. Slowly slide down the wall until your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle, like you're sitting in an invisible chair. Make sure your knees are stacked over your ankles, not shooting past your toes. Now hold. Start with 30 seconds, breathing deeply and evenly. Gradually work up to 2 to 3 minutes over time. You'll feel it in your quads, glutes, hamstrings, and core. But the real magic is what's happening inside. Studies show that wall squats stimulate slow-twitch muscle fibers, the ones responsible for endurance and postural support. These muscles are key for standing longer, walking farther, and reducing knee pain. Even better, wall squats promote capillarization, blood vessel growth, improve circulation to the legs, and have been linked to maintaining bone density, a huge factor in preventing osteoporosis. Pro tip: place a soft ball or pillow between your knees and gently squeeze it during the hold. This fires up your inner thigh muscles and encourages better knee alignment. This movement is also your progress tracker. If you start at 30 seconds and 1 month later you're holding for 2 minutes, your body is telling you you're getting stronger. And here's the best part: no gym, no impact, no excuses. Now that you've learned all 6 movements, I'm going to show you exactly how to put them together into a real-life routine that takes just 5 minutes a day and could transform how you move for the next 20 years. Don't go anywhere. This is the part that makes all the difference. You've made it to the end, and now you've got something powerful in your hands. Not just 6 movements, but a system that's helped tens of thousands of Japanese adults stay strong, independent, and pain-free deep into their 80s, 90s, and even past 100. And here's the best part: you don't need to do all 6 every day. Let me show you a realistic routine that fits into busy lives and tired bodies. Just 5 to 7 minutes a day. Morning. Warning, 2.5 minutes total. Start with 30 seconds of Seiza. Gently stretch and realign your posture. Move into 1 minute of Zazen. Activate your core and calm your mind. Finish with 30 seconds per leg of Nekowashi Dachi. Wake up your balance system. Evening, 4 minutes total. Begin with 1 minute of Shikodachi. Reopen tight hips and legs after a long day. Shift into 1 minute of Kibadachi. Strengthen legs and lateral stability. End with a 2-minute wall squat. Your personal progress check-in. That's all it takes. No gym membership, no pressure, and zero excuses. Just a handful of deliberate minutes each day that build up into lasting strength, steadiness, and self-assurance. Remember, this journey isn't about achieving perfection. It's about becoming a little better than you were yesterday. That's the essence of the Japanese philosophy of Kaizen, steady, incremental progress that adds up to remarkable transformation over time. If you've stayed with me to this point, I'd truly love to hear from you. Share a comment with your first name, age, and where you're tuning in from. I read every single one, and I'll be selecting a few people to receive a downloadable cheat sheet of all 6 movements. Your future self will be grateful that you chose to begin today.